3 years ago, I failed so badly that I thought my life was over. Today, that failure is the reason I'm sitting here, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why your biggest failure might be your biggest blessing in disguise. Stay with me. This story changed everything. You know, we're told from childhood, study hard. Get good marks, get a good job, settle down. That's the formula, right? And I believed it completely. I was that student who never questioned anything. I followed every rule, did what everyone expected. But here is what nobody tells you when you are young: life doesn't care about your perfect plans. Let me take you back to 2022. I was 22 years old, fresh out of engineering college. I had dreams, big dreams. I wanted to build something, create something of my own. But like most of us, I was scared. So I took the safe route. I got a job, a decent job, nothing fancy but stable. 2500 a month. My parents were happy. Society was happy. But I wasn't. Every morning I'd wake up at AM, get ready, travel 2 hours to the office, sit in a cubicle for 9 hours, come back home, sleep, repeat, and somewhere in those 9 hours of staring at a computer screen, doing work that didn't matter to me, I started dying inside, not physically, but my dreams, they were dying every single day. I'd look at successful entrepreneurs online, people building startups, creating products, making an impact, and I'd think that should be me. I have ideas too. I can do this. But then the fear would kick in. What if you fail? What if you lose money? What will people say? You have a stable job, why risk it? So I stayed comfortable, safe, dying slowly, until one day I couldn't take it anymore. December 2023. I remember the exact date, December 15th. I made a decision that everyone said was stupid. I quit my job, no backup plan, no safety net, just 2 lakhs in savings and an idea in my head. I told my parents I'm going to build a startup. You can imagine their reaction. Are you mad? Do you know how many startups fail? Who gave you this idea? Get your job back. But I was determined. I thought, this is my moment. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. For 6 months, I worked like crazy. 16-hour days, no weekends, no social life, just me and my laptop. I built a product, an app, something I believed in deeply. I launched it in June 2024, and you know what happened? Nothing, absolutely nothing. 10 downloads in the first week, all from my friends. No users, no traction, no revenue. My 2 lakhs gone. Spent on development, servers, marketing, my confidence shattered, my dream dead. That night I sat alone in my room. It was AM. I couldn't sleep. I had failed completely, publicly. Everyone who said don't quit your job, they were right. My parents' disappointment, my friends' silent pity, my own shame. I felt like the biggest failure in the world. But here's where the story changes. 3 days later, I was still in that dark place, still feeling sorry for myself, and my grandfather called me. Now, my grandfather is 78 years old. He's not educated, he's a farmer, simple man, but wise. He said something that I'll never forget. He said, Krishna, you think you failed? Let me tell you about failure. When I was 25, I lost our entire family's land in a bad investment. Everything. We had nothing. Your father was 5 years old. We didn't know how we'd eat the next day. I worked as a daily wage laborer for 2 years. People who knew our family laughed at me. But you know what that failure taught me? It taught me how to survive. It taught me humility. It taught me that money comes and goes, but your character stays. Today, I own more land than I lost. Not because I was lucky, because that failure made me smarter, stronger, wiser. Then he said the line that changed my entire perspective. Beta, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the price you pay for success. And you just made your first payment, I cried. Not from sadness, from relief. For the first time, I understood. That conversation changed everything. I went back and analyzed my failure, not emotionally, logically. Why did my first startup fail? 1. I built something I wanted, not what users needed. 2. I had no clear marketing strategy. 3. I was learning everything for the first time. Of course, I'd make mistakes. 4. I gave up too early. 6 months is nothing in the startup world. But here's what that failure gave me. 1. I learned how to code properly, how to build an actual product. 2. I learned about user behavior, what works, what doesn't. 3. I learned resilience, that I could survive my worst fear and still be okay. 4. I got rid of my ego. I became humble enough to ask for help. 5. Most importantly, I learned what not to do. You see, success teaches you confidence, but failure teaches you wisdom. So in August 2024, I started again. But this time I was different. I wasn't the naive 22-year-old who thought one idea would change the world. I was someone who had been beaten down, learned his lessons, and came back stronger. I spent 2 months just researching, talking to potential users, understanding the market. I built a minimum viable product, not a perfect one. I launched small, tested, iterated, improved, and slowly, very slowly, it started working. Today, that second startup has 5,000 active users. It's generating 1.5 lakhs a month in revenue. Is it a massive success? Not yet, but it's growing, it's real, it's working. And none of this would have happened if my first startup had succeeded. Because if I'd succeeded on the first try, I would have learned nothing. I would have thought I knew everything. That failure was the best teacher I ever had. Now, if you're watching this, chances are you failed at something too. Maybe you failed an exam. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe a business didn't work out, and right now you're in that dark place where I was, where you think this is it. I'm a failure. It's over. So let me tell you what I wish someone had told me. Your failure is not the end of your story. It's the middle. Every successful person you admire, they've failed multiple times. The difference is they didn't stay down. Gerd Tata failed twice before Tata Group became what it is. Dhirubhai Ambani was rejected by banks 32 times before getting his first loan, Abdul Kalam's first rocket launch exploded, completely failed. Even cricket MS Dhoni was dropped from the team multiple times before becoming captain. Failure doesn't define you, how you respond to failure that defines you. So here's what I want you to do. 1. Stop running from your failure. Face it, own it, say yes, I failed. So what? To ask yourself, what did this failure teach me? There is always a lesson. 3. Use that lesson. Apply it. Try again. But smarter this time. For remember, the pain of failure is temporary, but the regret of not trying again, that lasts forever. Your biggest failure is preparing you for your biggest success. Trust the process. 3 years ago, I was crying in my room thinking my life was over. Today, I'm building something I'm proud of, not because I'm special, but because I refuse to let one failure define me. Your situation might be different. Your failure might be different, but the principle is the same. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Your blessing is hiding inside your failure. You just can't see it yet, but trust me, one day you'll look back at this moment and say, thank God that happened, because it led me here. So don't give up. Your story isn't over. This is just the chapter where the hero falls down. The next chapter, that's where you get back up, and that chapter, it's going to be beautiful. If this story resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I share real stories, real struggles, real lessons from my journey. And in the comments below, I want you to do something brave. Share your failure. Just one line. What failed for you recently? Because when we share our failures, we realize we're not alone. We're all in this together, and who knows, your story might inspire someone else to keep going. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, your failure is not your finish line, it's your fuel. Keep going. You've got this.